Thoughts with your girl Alicia. I am so excited today because we have another guest all the way from London. Her name is Lavelda, and she is a international MC speaker, and she mentors female speakers to get booked and paid. And I'm just so excited that we were able to get her on the podcast today. And yeah, just enjoy it. If you have any questions, make sure you engage with her when we post this. And I hope you enjoy our conversations. And thank you so much for joining
I
us,
am doing
Lavelda. How are you doing
fabulous. I was
today?
just sat here thinking, so we're still in lockdown here in London. It just got extended by 3 weeks. And there's
Hmm.
this thing, I don't know if you have the same coin of phrase in the US, we call it sod's law, which is basically anytime something is happening that's really good, something gets in the way. So normally our weather is absolutely terrible.
Hmm.
But of course, because we're in lockdown, we've had a really
Hmm.
sunny spout for like the last 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
3 weeks of sun.
3 weeks. Oh, my goodness. I don't know what we're going to do in the USA. I know. I don't know what we're going to do over here. I know they're letting the states pick it and stuff like that. Lockdown. People are opening, people are closing. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna just stay in the house a couple of more weeks
I
because I
hear
don't
you,
have
girl.
time to be catching the virus. So yeah, I guess I want to know like a little bit about you, your background, and like how you became this MC speaker, and how you, I guess, got your clients, and how you use like social media to
Girl,
put
that's
yourself
a
out
lot
there,
of
your brand and
questions.
everything
So,
like that. Oh, it's like all together or something like that. You just
all
go
right,
by
I'm
one, but I
pinning
was
them
just
in my
trying to
mind
figure
as
it
we
out.
go. I'm like here with a post-it note, like, okay, question number one. So I was one of those kids at school that was how I used to put it, my mum used to say I'm too loud and too bossy. And I finally found a career that really worked for me. So I never kind of started out wanting to MC and host. It's not like being a doctor or a lawyer. It's not something somebody tells you about at school that you know it's something you can
Hmm.
actually do. So I really stumbled across it. I was working full time, knew I wanted to have my own business of some description, started a few different ones. And I used to speak on stages to grow my business. So I do talks and invite people to join my mailing list and have freebies and all of that sort of stuff. And occasionally I would go and pitch for what I thought was a much larger speaking engagement, and they wouldn't have they'd had all their speakers booked. So in order such that I could get the gig, I'd say, oh, have you got anybody to introduce your speakers? I did that a few times. Honestly, it was like the poor man's version of trying to get on stage. And so I did that a few times and discovered I'd just get really, really great feedback. And I had a lot of friends who ran events and they'd ask me to help out. And it was just really, really easy. And then the turning point was people would start finding me on LinkedIn and asking me to come and MC. And I just thought, I
Mm.
didn't even really say I did this. I don't know how they figured it out from what little I had on my profile. But after a couple of those came through, and there was so much better engagements than the ones I was doing before with higher profile names. And I really enjoyed meeting like CEOs of large organizations and entrepreneurs who are running like multi-million pound businesses. I thought, I don't know when else I'd get to meet these people. But the big turning point is the first time an international organization found me and said, oh, yeah, we'll give you some money, come out here and MC. And I thought, right, that's it. Now I'm just going to tell people this is what I do because I don't be telling them and
Right.
they be finding me. So, um, and it's now combined in all of my favorite things. I get to meet cool people, talk to interesting people, and travel and be paid for it. And so I thought, well, I'll
Hmm.
give this a go and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then I was really strategic when I made that decision in terms of how I used online to help me get speaking engagements. So I built my profile pretty quickly. Within 18 months, I'd gone from no gigs at all to introducing celebrities like Monica Lewinsky. So I interviewed her on stage. Yeah, seriously. Um,
What? That's
Kunal
dope.
Nair. So he played Raj on The Big Bang Theory. So that was pretty cool. So when I started kind of meeting
Mm-hmm.
like celebrities or senior executives, like the CEO of Unilever has given me like an amazing testimonial. I got to interview him for a panel. Um, and I could look back and see what I did strategically to build my business. And then I accidentally, it's always accidents with me, right? Never planned. Accidentally started working with female speakers because I was actually emceeing an event for an all female event. And they were having a panel discussion, and one of the participants innocently asked a question about speaking. And I found myself on the stage on my high horse as if it were my own event, telling these ladies how they need to find their voices and they need to speak up because I'm sick of introducing a whole bunch of men to the stage. And, fortunately, I caught myself in time that I didn't completely take over the event, but it stuck with me. So a few days later, I started doing a bit of investigation just to find out why is it that I'm doing these events and it's more men than women? Because I thought I know a lot of women who've got great stories, who've got amazing experience, who are really great at speaking. I thought it can't be a talent thing. Like it just cannot be a talent thing. If anything, we should be better at it because we just naturally talk more. It's our thing. Like if anything, we should be able to do this
True.
better than anybody else. And I heard a lot of things. Like I heard the typical, oh, it's because women have got imposter syndrome and they're not as good at selling. And I just thought, oh, I can't buy that. I worked in sales for years. I've
Mm-hmm.
never personally had any crazy imposter syndrome. So I really struggled with those. But the one that stood out the most was when I started getting feedback that organizers just found women a lot harder to find. And I thought that right there, I need to explore that a little bit more because that doesn't make no sense to me because I know all these women tell me they be
Mm-hmm.
speak. They tell me they be
There's women all
speaking.
over.
So
Right.
I because I'm surrounded by a lot of female speakers tell me they be speakers and this and that. So I thought, what a load of rubbish. All these women out there who are great speakers. I know a ton of them. Like, this is a problem I could surely fix. So I started a group called World Class Female Speakers, very much to get to the bottom of this problem. Um, and quickly verified it to be a problem. I was like, oh shit, they're right.
Where they at?
Like, damn it, they had a point. And what I noticed more than anything else was that there are great women who have great talent who are ready to speak on stage. The big missing is their sales and marketing just does not say all of that stuff. So they kind of miss the point of it. It's like, I've got this really great thing. And I'm like, great. So it's kind of like somebody telling me they're a brilliant model. And I'm like, okay, cool. Show me some of your photos. And then they pull out their holiday snaps. It's the equivalent. You just like, you told me you're a professional model. Like, show me some photos of you modeling. And they'll pull out some photos of them on the beach. And I was like, girl, please, like, you can't be telling people you're a professional speaker and you have no video footage and you have no website. And I Google you and like literally nothing comes up that tells me you're a professional speaker. This is why women are so hard to find. This would explain it. I figured it. I found it.
Fine. Yeah.
The
They don't
brand
have
isn't
their brand
online. It's
online.
inconsistent. Often they've spoken a lot for their business. They've got really excited about it, and then they kind of think, oh, I'll switch over to making money at this. And I'm like, it's kind of a different business model when you decide to be a paid keynote speaker or when you decide to go from smaller local events to wanting larger events. But that business side of things just wasn't set up. And I worked in sales myself for 8 years. So like sales processes never phased me. So I was used to having to have that stuff in place. I would see an event online and just contact the organizer like, hey, how you doing? You looking for somebody? I might be that somebody. We should talk.
Right. Right. You got to put yourself out there.
But there was less of that going on. And they go, I don't know how to find speaking engagements. And I'm like, have you ever looked for an event before? And they're, yeah, that's how you find them. Like, so that's kind of a long answer. It's all been kind of very organic and very natural to my skill set. It's what I did for myself. It's something I'm really passionate about. Less because of the internal raging feminist, and I'm acknowledging that she exists, but more because I grew up internationally. So I grew up in the South Pacific in a country called Papua New Guinea. It's like right near Australia. Um, yeah, all the way the other side of the world. So I was always
Oh.
this displaced kid, right? So I'm originally from the Turks and Caicos again. I mean, you're American, so you'll know it. I am from the Turks and Caicos.
You're from the Turks and
But for
Caicos?
years,
What?
really,
I went
yeah,
there
yeah.
last year.
Originally
I
from
went
there.
there. I
But
did.
I grew up in the South Pacific, and then I moved to the UK when I was probably about 16. So I've experienced the world from
Hmm.
multiple different perspectives, and I love the
That's really
value
cool.
that diversity brings to a stage. And like the most obvious diversity gap for me is, if you've got a whole bunch of men on a stage talking about something, then I'm kind of going, yeah, it's just not balanced. And yeah, and,
Yeah,
and
like
that's just
where's the
one
women
angle.
at?
It's
Come
the
on
angle
now.
I choose to fight, but it could just as easily be sexuality or race or a whole raft of other things.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
organizations and event organizers are
Mhm.
very much opening up for it. So I'm not the person who sits and goes, people should like make sure that it's balanced. I'm the person that goes, well, there's an opportunity here. And right now I'm sitting going, seriously, for the women who pull their finger out and market the heck out of themselves right now, there's a real opportunity to make some decent cash as a speaker. But you can't do that sitting around twiddling your thumbs with like
Mhm.
nothing online nowadays. Like, how do you think they're going to find you?
Mhm. So, do you have some tips for people who do want to be speakers? How they can build
My
that
starting point is
online
always to
brand?
say have your online profile match who you are so that it matches your skills and your talents. So I have, and I can make it available. You can,
Mhm.
drop it in the notes or whatever. I have a blueprint I created. It's called the Profitable Speaker Marketing Blueprint, and it's basically a guide that talks through all of the little hacks I developed over the years that meant that my business grew faster. So
Mhm.
it's less about having, I mean, I didn't start with a website at all. I owned my domain name, but I mean, that was just too much like hard work. So I started with LinkedIn. It was just work. I
Yes.
didn't have a show reel. So,
Mhm.
I'm not teaching stuff like, oh my God, you have to have all this stuff. What I did do is I went onto LinkedIn and I thought, well, LinkedIn is already search engine optimized, because when you Google my name, it comes up on LinkedIn before anything else. It's got a corporate audience on it, so that's where the organizers are at. And it's already structured really well for me to talk about
That's
what I'm up
cool.
to. So I honestly started with my LinkedIn profile. So I found photos and I put them up on there and I, wrote a description and I said, I'm a moderator and host and I described what my style is. And I put photos up there and I put my email address on there. I think it was a Gmail account initially. Like, I really did not get ahead of myself to create any of this stuff. I just thought it looked so amateurish, but I didn't care.
Mhm.
And then as I did more events, each time I went to an event, I did events at the beginning for two reasons. One was to get paid. But more importantly, when I first did them, it was to build my marketing assets. So I was more focused on getting testimonials, getting great photos, getting video footage. I used to seriously,
Mhm.
the
To
first
build it up.
international gig I got, if I
Mhm.
made £20 from it, by the time I'd paid for anything, I made a lot of money because that's like 30
What's
US
20
dollars.
pounds?
Like I really
Um,
made nothing from it. And
okay.
but it was a huge
Mhm.
step up audience. So I was like they had like an audience of like 3,000 people. I'd never done anything for an audience of that size before.
Oh.
It was in Paris. I was like, oh my God,
Mhm.
I'm traveling to speak. They had paid me, but by the time I'd
Yes.
covered, they weren't paying my expenses. They just had a really small fee. So by the time I'd covered everything else, there was nothing left. But I sat down with my husband and
Oh,
I brought
dang.
him along and I said, you're working. Like, we're going to Paris and you're working. And he loves social media. So he took photos and videos. I came home with everything on the stage
Yes.
was filmed, which I got sign off from the organizers. They were filming it as well. I didn't care. I just wanted to leave with my own just to be sure. Like, this is the only reason I was. I took.
Just
I
to
had a
wait,
list of
right?
photos I needed to take on the way in.
Yes.
I had a list of people I wanted photos. So if you think I did not play. I didn't play. My
Yes, you
husband,
came ready and get you somebody that's
you
going to
better
support you and
believe.
come with you. Yes, that's
Um,
a
you
nugget.
better believe when I said I
Hmm.
wasn't playing, and I remember so we videoed the talk. We captured video testimonials. So my husband used to walk around. He'd be chatting in the audience. They wouldn't know we were married, right? He'd be walking around chatting in the audience. And then they'd say,
Hmm.
somebody would say, oh, yeah, Lavelda was really good. And he's like, really? You really liked her? I thought she was cool too. And they go, yeah, she's good. And then he'd whip his phone out and goes, so I'm her husband. Do you mind saying that to camera? So
Yes, I
I
feel
honestly,
that
I
one for
came
real.
home with must have been about 10 or 15 testimonials, hours of video footage of varying qualities. I mean, we were just doing this for the first time. I had business cards, I had about 3 new warm leads. Um, and then when I came back, I went online, I took every single photo, and I spent about a week updating everything. I was like, right, I've got video footage. Every 3 days, a piece of footage went out on LinkedIn, like, hey, look at me, look at this little thing that I did. Like, I was like, I'm going to milk
Hmm.
this for everything that it's worth. I got I swear I got
I know that's right.
everything edited beautifully. And then the professional photographs came out and they were really good. So I took one of those and made it my new fresh headshot. And, so I just got very, very strategic about creating a profile that was going to make it easier for me to get booked. Um,
And
how long had
how
I
long have
been
you
on
been
LinkedIn?
on LinkedIn?
I'd been on LinkedIn for
Hmm.
a while. I wasn't really using it per se. I wasn't making a huge amount of use out of it. And
Hmm.
in all true honesty, I just created a separate LinkedIn profile because I was working full time in sales. And that would have caused me a bit of a problem at my job. So I just spun up a new one. So it was
Oh,
pretty fresh. Maybe it was
yeah.
up. Maybe I'd been using it for like 6 months or something like that. So I was really just growing it off the back of that.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, I was just wondering because I hear LinkedIn a lot now. Not to like cut you off or whatever, but like people are using it a lot now. Like, do you have your LinkedIn profile? Which I've had them for a while, but I've never really used it. And I just changed it and tried to update it. But now I'm like, well, maybe I should use it because I was trying to use it to find a job, but maybe I should use that to start my own brand and like be able to put myself out there and stuff. And so I don't know if people really use LinkedIn that much. I feel like it is like they say, a professional Facebook technically. And so I was just wondering, like, how long were you on it, or like, how did you hear about it
I
to
worked in
even start your
sales,
LinkedIn
and as a
profile? So
salesperson,
that's what I
I
was trying to.
lived on LinkedIn
And
because it's a
that's
professional
how.
networking platform. So I would be on
Okay,
LinkedIn 3 or 4 times a day.
that makes
Um,
sense.
what I will say is the only time an organizer has found me out of the blue to pay me for a live event has been through LinkedIn. It's never been through Facebook. It's never been through Twitter. It's never been through Instagram. It's always been through LinkedIn. My paid, like random, never met you
Mhm.
before, totally out of the blue. I have had a couple of people find me on Facebook for filming gigs, um, not live speaking engagements. So it's like
Mhm.
pre-recorded, moderated stuff. Um, I've had those through
Okay,
Facebook.
that's cool
I think
too.
if you're wanting to do as a speaker, especially because most of the organizers are
Mhm.
looking on there because they generally have a mix of corporate and independent individuals. It's easily searched and it
Mhm.
forces you to come up with, unlike other profiles which don't mimic a website quite so much. So if I think of Facebook and Instagram, your profile is so short you can't do anything with it really. It's like 5 words, right? Um, but
Mhm.
LinkedIn, you can start to write what you would put on a website. So what I enjoyed about it is by the time I went to get my website up, I had quite a bit of the words already because I'd had to write my introduction on LinkedIn and I'd had to write the job description.
Mhm.
It's just used slightly differently for business than it is used
Mhm.
professionally.
S- So would you say like LinkedIn could be like an online media kit
That's how
in a
I use
sense
it.
if you want
So
to?
I upload my videos. So
Okay.
because you have a media section. So I upload videos, I upload photos. I
Mhm.
also will get the vast majority of my testimonials through LinkedIn. And the reason for that is they're searchable, they're in the public domain, and I can't lose them. Mainly the third one, if I'm honest. Like when people email me testimonials, I forget where I put them. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
shizzle.
Right, storage and messes up. Like, just I'll go to
So
my
that's what
LinkedIn
I
and get
do.
it. Grab it real
That's
quick.
where I put them. So I'll normally request them through there, and it just makes it easier for people to say, "Oh, crikey!" Like who was recommending? Because not every recommendation has the same weight, right?
Hmm. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's cool how you use LinkedIn. I feel like people are talking about it a lot more now, so that's why I was just like wondering about that. And so, I know you said you went to Paris, but like, where's the coolest place, I guess, that you've been able to speak if it
Um,
wasn't
the
Paris?
coolest place I've been able to speak. It might actually be Lithuania of all places. It's such a beautiful city. I've been to Paris loads of times before. I live in London. It's like 2 hours on the train,
Hmm.
so it's not
Yeah,
quite
I
the
know.
same for
That's.
me. Oh, I also spoke in Cape Town. That was cool too. I love traveling, so basically anywhere I like to travel to,
Oh,
I will wrap a
yes.
holiday around that. Um, so I've kind of got to split out. Is it the speaking engagement or was it the country it took me to?
Right.
I'm like, the engagement was
I'm
okay,
cracking
but
up.
the
That's
country
funny.
was amazing.
Amazing. Yes. I'm cracking up. So, what do you usually speak about when you have these speaking engagements? I know you said you do MC, you did that, but now that you're turning to a speaker, what is your main platform that you not your platform that you speak on, but what are your main topics that you speak on
So
when you go to these
I
engagements?
predominantly moderate an MC. When I'm speaking, it's normally technical. So it'll normally be about this sort of stuff. Um, I'm creating some new
Oh.
keynotes at the
Mm-hmm.
moment, which will be very different. It's part of what I'm using this time I've got at the moment to do, which is like think about new things, topics to talk about. Often, what I'm speaking about is sales and marketing,
Same.
and building it well because it's what I'm teaching
Oh,
women
okay.
when it comes to getting on stages. I'm like, this is how you find
Mm-hmm.
speaking engagements, approach them, get yourself on those stages. This is
Mm-hmm.
what needs to be in a great quality show reel. This is how you market yourself, how to build that kind of personal brand out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and so I know that you do have a program where you help female speakers like become MCs and stuff like that.
Oh, girl, I
How
have
long
a
has that
few
been going
programs.
on?
I think after 2 years, I changed the programs. I'm
Oh,
serious. I think after
you
two
changed the
years, I'm like, we
programs.
need a fresh light. I like to keep it fresh and new. So they kind of fit into categories. Occasionally,
Mm-hmm.
I'll run a mastermind program. I've done that a few times. I'm on a pause from it. I'll probably do another one later on this year. At the moment, I'm having a lot of fun doing incubators, like an 8-week program to find speaking engagements, which is like great fun. Very
Okay.
very strategic. And then the other thing I'll do a lot of programs around is profile building. Like, okay, cool, let's just get the whole thing polished up like now. Very action orientated. I'm like, okay, you got 2 days, come
Mm-hmm.
back. I better see a new biography up.
Right.
Do not come to work with, yeah,
Oh my
don't come
goodness,
to
that's
work
so
with me and
funny.
think
Right
about it.
now.
I'm like, what are you thinking about? Like, the thinking about it was making the decision. You're
Mm-hmm.
working with me now. Let's get on with it. So
That's true. That's true. So if y'all
you
work with
better
her,
come
you know
prepared.
she's ready. Yeah. That is so funny. Oh my goodness, that's so cool though. I like that. So like you basically that's what I guess you found the problem and you solved it. I feel like that's what all like businesses and stuff like that. Like you see that there wasn't a lot of women, so you're like, okay, I'm gonna help y'all find women, but you then found another problem that it was kind of harder to even find the
Yeah, I'm
women.
like,
So then you had to
yeah,
dig
that
deeper.
problem we got to solve. Like making women
So
more visible makes it easier for them to be found. So
yeah.
I just decided to take another angle because I'm like, they be
Mhm.
looking. I mean, I've worked with organizers. There was one in particular I worked with in Copenhagen, and they made a really conscious decision that their events were going to be 50% male, 50% female. period. And they made that decision a couple of years before they brought me on board. And I did an interview. It's a male and a female organizer, and I did an interview with the female organizer. And I asked her straight up, like, "Is it harder to find women?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Did it make it more difficult when you made that decision?" She said, "Yeah, we have to look harder. It takes longer." They got used to it, like they found a rhythm with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that is sad.
Yeah, that's interesting to me too. I don't know, like I guess because well, when I think about it, it's like I guess men they look for the men to speak, but men are probably in those higher roles and stuff like that, so it's easier to find their names and stuff. Do you think that could be why like they
Girl, I
figured
am
they
for real. If you go and Google keynote speaker, I can tell you the first 3 or 4 pages of Google are just going to be male speakers. That has got nothing to do with anything apart from that the guy sat
and
down, did a website, and actually SEO'd it, like actually did the work.
okay. SEO?
Right? So it comes down to if somebody types your name in or goes looking for your services, where are you? I went on
Mm-hmm.
to YouTube and did a similar search, and it was like just pages and pages of men. And I'm kind of going, I don't think the search engines are going put the male one above the female one. Like I don't believe the search engines gives a crap what gender you are. They just don't care,
Mm-hmm.
right? What they are looking at is the quality of the content and the quality of the website and whether or not it's searched for regularly. So there'll be male speakers, for example, who will be doing advertising and actively putting themselves out there. And then sometimes what I notice with female speakers is it's a little bit of an aversion to putting your name out. I spoke to a really dear friend of mine and she said, Lavala, that's rubbish. So I talked her through it. I was like, I'm not being funny. The number of people I speak to who don't have this and this and this, and I can watch her face dropping as it dawned on her that she too was one of the people who keeps saying she's a speaker and also had none of these things in place. And so I just think, underneath all of it, if you're serious about the thing you say you're going to do, it's no different to the people who start coaching businesses and they don't tell anybody they're a coach and they don't have any sort of online profile. They haven't put it on their LinkedIn. They don't put any social media content out about it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the internet doesn't know you exist and people aren't picking up the yellow pages looking. So
I'm cracking up.
I'm serious though. Where do you think these organizers, they're like, I want a really great sales speaker. So what are they going to do? They're going to jump on Google and they're going to type in sales speakers, or they're going to go to some of the bureau or the speaker agent websites and have a look there and see who's coming up. Well, if you're not putting yourself in those positions, you're making it harder and harder to get found. Even doing things like
Mm-hmm.
podcast interviews or webinars or something, but like you cannot sit back, not do anything, not tell somebody it's something you've got going on and expect it's going to work. Trust me, I played that game with my previous businesses and they don't exist for a reason.
So you had some other businesses, you know?
I had one I
Yeah,
was
that's
doing for the longest while, and I remember talking to a friend of mine, and they were like, "Oh my God, that's such a good idea! Like, you must be doing so well." And I said I would do if I ever bothered to tell anybody about it.
that's true too. It is like you got to put yourself out there in the field, and I think that's what is going on a lot too. It's like, oh yeah, I want to be this. Oh yeah, I want to be this. But like sometimes, like you don't even really know where to start or how to put yourself out there, and then sometimes it's just like so overwhelming that you're just like, okay, I guess I won't do this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. Just don't overcomplicate it. Seriously, do not overcomplicate it. The number of times I'll hear people like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, change your email signature. Like, there are
Hmm.
so many little things that you can do before you get to the complicated thing. Before you get to the complicated thing of building a whole website and doing a full-blown show reel, shoot a few videos and put them on YouTube. I mean, there's really easy entry
Hmm.
points now. And you tick off a few of those, you get better at doing videos, you get better at your YouTube videos being found, you get better at putting yourself out there. But I mean, something as simple as setting yourself a challenge each week to contact organizers. But if
Mm.
weeks and months are going past and you have not put yourself forward for anything, don't complain when you don't get anything.
Like, oh yeah, I didn't even hear about that. Or, I didn't even get that. Well, did you look, girl?
It's
Did you see
it's like the
it?
person like there ain't no jobs out there, and you're like, but did you apply? Oh, I didn't even look.
Yeah.
We know those
Yeah,
people.
like,
We know those people. It's the same.
yeah.
It's the same principle. Sometimes we be that person. So just setting,
Hmm.
just setting that up to say,
I'm cracking up.
I have a habit of putting things very bluntly, but just setting things up in really simply, like every week, I'm gonna find 5 events and connect with them and contact them,
Hmm.
or every week I'm gonna put myself forward for 3 new podcasts or something. But
Hmm.
to go through, look, if you are going through week after week in a business and you aren't doing any active sales, and active
Hmm.
sales is when you put yourself in the uncomfortable position of asking somebody to buy something.
Yes. Oh, and let me make that to a point too. So usually my podcast, they know me. I usually go out and find guests. And guess what? Lavelda found me. Okay. She found me and I was so excited. And I was like, okay, yay. And then I heard she was in London. I'm like, what? How did you find me? Like the internet, you can find anything you want. I don't even know how she found me. And she said she was just looking and she found me. And so I think that also speaks to going after what you want and finding it, reaching out, connecting, and using social media as your tool. Like social media is a tool. As much as people say like it's this, it's that, like, it's overwhelming, it's this, but social media is a tool and you're using it to be social. So you have to be able to use the tools that are provided to you to your best benefit at the end of the day.
If it helps you to think of social media platforms as search engines, then do, because they also are very
Mm-hmm.
good search engines. Like if you want to find podcasts, you go on Instagram and you put in hashtag podcast. Trust me, how many podcasts are going to come up?
Mm-hmm.
How you think?
Literally
How,
so many.
exactly. And if you like them, you listen into them, you think it's kind of cool, then it's easy enough to connect with the person. Just like, hey,
Mm-hmm. They're right there.
hey, you
Yeah.
be looking for guests? I'd kind of like to have a chat. You sound like fun. I'd like to have a talk with you. It doesn't have to be. I think we can often super overcomplicate things. And I know what
Mm-hmm.
worked really, really well for me in getting my speaking business up is I just went simple as I just started with let me get LinkedIn. And then I realized I didn't have great photos. So I got those done. And then I realized I didn't have any testimonials. My first few testimonials, I went back to everybody who'd ever seen me speak and just asked them to give me a testimonial. Anybody. I don't care, friend,
Mm-hmm.
family, like I really didn't care. Like if you had seen me speak
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, can you just give me a review on how you found me speaking as a speaker? Like it's not difficult to go
Uh,
and get them. And then what I
I
did was
have
like,
some reviews.
yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say you got me making me want to change my LinkedIn to a speaker profile because I just spoke somewhere like last month. I spoke about like vision and vision boards and goals, and I was like, oh, can I have some testimonials and stuff like that? And some people really did give me some testimonials, and I don't think I have the footage, but I do have some pictures. But I'm like, okay, she got me about to change my whole profile
Mm-hmm.
to be a speaker. They about to find me, so that's what I was thinking of.
Well, it's also once it's there, it's done, right? It's always working for you. Like, you
Hmm.
don't need to go in and update
Yes.
the profile every single week. You just update it when something new and fresh and exciting comes through. That's a good reason to kind of speak on it. But start with something. But if you have nothing up, I run a conference myself, a female speakers conference and awards, and I started it really to showcase female speakers and to talk more about this sort of stuff around the business of speaking. And the first couple of years, we asked people to apply. Oh my gosh, I remember there were some people, I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, their application looks really good. And so I did what any normal person would do, and I looked them up, because they had to submit links. So I clicked on some of the links and I'd land on the link and it'd be like, this is a coach about blah, 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 blah. And I just thought, but I'm looking for some footage of you speaking or something that would. Oh, okay. It's like somebody recommending a plumber to you because you've got a problem in the house, and then they give you a website and it takes you to a
Hmm.
law firm. You just think, huh, is this a plumber or a lawyer? Like, what are,
I've lost one.
right? So, you've kind of got to, if it's a skill you've got and you're not talking about it, what it means is that when people, if you reach out to people, they're going to look you up and then they're going to just be really confused by it. Like, this doesn't tell me
Mm-hmm.
anything I need to know about this speaking thing. Maybe it's just a side gig you do. I just can't take it seriously. I'm confused, and a confused mind says no.
That's true. I've heard that before too.
Hmm.
Confused minds say no. That's crazy that you said that. But yeah, so making sure that like you have what you want, like your profile says what you want, making sure that it's out there and just starting to do the work. And right now is the perfect time because everybody has downtime. You can go fix your LinkedIn. You can go figure out what you want to do. If you want to be a speaker, if you want to be an MC and stuff like that, this is the time to do it now because we're not even going anywhere
Nobody's going
for a
anywhere.
little bit.
Mm. In fact,
For a little bit.
next week I'm running like a 2 hour masterclass, which is purely on setting up a profile that converts as a speaker. So I'll go through
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, Instagram, your website, like, and what's the other one? YouTube, and talk you through like structurally what do you need to do. Like, here's how it
Mm-hmm.
all operates, and this is why things are set up in this sort of way. Like, how do you use those platforms effectively as a speaker, and what do you need to put in them? There's a whole bunch of bonuses and extra stuff I'm giving people as well to write really great quality bios and that sort of stuff. So that is this week. But if you connect in with me on whatever platform, just drop me a note and I'll give you all the
Mm-hmm.
deets if you're interested.
Oh yeah, I was like, I'll get the deets from you. I'll get the information, and then I can share it. Yeah, and so you were saying that you host the awards. Is that like at a certain time in the year, or?
Yeah, it's scheduled for this November. I'm we're now thinking we're possibly going to move it online this year, or yeah, it's a weird time, it's the momentum behind the event. It's a very weird time to be an organizer.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
damn it.
yeah,
This
like.
year, yeah, for that particular reason, this year's tough. So that decision will be made in the next week or two. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. I'm cracking up. So yeah, because can't go nowhere right now. So we'll see how that all happens, all how that all pans out later on. This year. Hopefully, people can go back to traveling. I don't know how that's going to work out. I'm gonna stay put for a little bit though.
Oh, I need to go back to traveling. It's driving me nuts. I saw this
Yeah.
video. I think I've got it posted on my Instagram at the moment, and it's this guy sat, and it pans out, and you can hear the message going off like he's in a plane.
Mhm.
The like safety message, and we're getting ready to take off, and you can see the clouds and like blah blah blah, and there's an announcement going on. And as it pans out, he's sitting there sipping this glass of champagne, and he puts the tray table up, and it keeps panning out. And then you can see this, he's literally sat on the floor by the washing machine in the laundry room, right? And the
Oh.
because and what he's done is he's put the computer inside of the washing machine, so when you're
Mhm.
close up, it looks like the window of the plane. And as it pulls out, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling right now. I'm actually tempted to sit next to my machine and just put my laptop in it and listen. Like,
Yeah, I was say I think I seen them too. I don't know if this is the same one, but I seen this girl. She was like she used like a
oh, I've seen
toilet
those ones
bowl.
as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, to put on the window and like it's like outside in the clouds and like she's like sitting on it. It looks like she's in the sitting on the plane, but she's like really in her house or whatever. I thought that was really cool. It's like so creative and stuff like that. That's so funny. I wanted to ask you, have you been back to Turks and Caicos since you left Turks and Caicos?
Yeah, I used to go
Or
back a lot as a kid. The last time I went would have been about 10 years ago, maybe even longer, maybe 15 years ago. It's been a long time since
oh,
since I've been back.
oh, and so does your family and stuff live there, or not really? They all like moved
Um, my
from Turks and
father
Caicos.
still lives there, and the rest of my immediate family's here. But like all of my aunts and uncles and most of my cousins and stuff and grandparents are still there. But I left when I was three
Oh,
years old, so I don't have the same connection to it because I don't remember
mm-hmm.
anything. And when I go back,
Uh,
it's such a tiny group of islands. When I go back, I remember going to the airport, and I had a Turks Island passport at the time. And the person, I handed my passport to them to like stamp it, and they just kept staring at me like, "Who are you? Whose kid are you?" And they're looking at me like oddly, like not wanting to let me through because the islands are so small, and this person has got Turks Island passport, but I don't sound like a Turks Islander. So I had to pull out the name of my
Mm,
grandpa, my uncle, I'm like, oh, where else in the world do you go to start naming your relatives and, putting a
mm-hmm.
list of, oh, my father is this person and then my uncle is that person. And, I'm such and such's grandson or, granddaughter or whatever. I'm like, what other part of the world does that happen? So now I just whip out my British passport. It's just easier because they just look at me too odd. I don't sound right.
Uh-huh.
I can't pull it off.
Yeah, that was so funny. That's why I was like, oh, that's why it was interesting when you were saying you was actually born in Turks and Caicos. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, you definitely do have like the accent, the British accent. That's so funny. Yeah, that's really cool though. I went there on a cruise. There's so many donkeys on that
Uh-huh.
island. I was so nervous. And they just come up to you. Next thing I'm like, oh no, I do not do the donkeys like that. But I've always heard about it and it was really pretty. But it was really like not too much on the
You're
island.
right.
It was like not too much
There isn't
there.
much there at all to do. You go and you sit on the beach, and that is
Mm-mm.
pretty much it. It's a
Yes.
great,
Yeah. So
great beach holiday.
that's why I feel like a lot of people go there just great for to chill out, to relax and stuff like that. And so I thought that was really cool and neat that you were from there. And I definitely enjoyed this episode with you. Is there anywhere? Oh, tell the people where they can find you at so they can follow you and stay up to date with.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I say I'm on Twitter. Don't tweet me. I don't understand that platform. I'm confused. I have a presence there. I use it occasionally, but if you send me any Twitter
Same.
DMs, you'll be waiting. Like I only just figured out Instagram DMs. Um, um, but yeah, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I'm quite active on. Just search my name. To be honest, to find me, you just put in Lavelda. You can put in Lavelda Vincenzi, but honestly, Lavelda alone will be fine because my name is so darn searchable. It's great. And it's
Yeah, that's amazing.
and it's Lavelda Vincenzi on all social media platforms.
Yes, I'm about to hook up with you on LinkedIn. You can look at my LinkedIn. I was using it for like a job. That's why I was like, I might switch it because I was looking for like jobs and stuff like that. That's what they were saying. But forget that. I'm about to use that to create my own my own brand. Okay.
Done. Look at that.
That's
See,
so
learning is
funny.
happening
Yes.
already now. I'm up to check in with
Hmm.
you, boo.
Yeah, yes, check in with me. It's kind of there, but I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. But yes, definitely, I'm gonna follow you on there so we can stay connected. It says like follow but connected or whatever. And yeah, so I definitely just want to thank you for reaching out. And I'm gonna make it to London one day. I've actually been to Paris before, and I met this lady from London. She was so sweet. I've always wanted to go to London. It's just not really working out for me right now. But I know like three people. I had another girl. She was on my podcast. I met her. She was from London. And then I met this Miss Trinidad and Tobago from UK, London. And so I'm like, I have to go to London. Like, I have to go see my people over in London.
Feel like roads are leading to London.
So, yes, like I keep on getting it, but it's not working out for me. But I really, really, really want to go visit London one of these days. Don't know if I was thinking about doing a Europe tour this year, but with everything going on, we might need to postpone that to
Oh
2021.
God, don't even get me started on the
So,
postponing of vacations.
yeah.
I'm like a cruise lover. I went on 3 cruises last
Oh,
year.
you what?
Three
You love
cruises.
cruises?
I start my year by putting my holidays in first. And I was,
Mm.
I'm not even kidding. I was planning on traveling every month this year and it just has not worked out. So it was so
Dang. What
annoying.
was canceled? Did you cancel? You had to cancel
Well,
May and April?
yeah, well, I was in Paris in January until the beginning of Feb. Um, February, we ended up doing a staycation for Valentine's. So we stayed in the UK. We just like went away, went to like the cliffs of Dover or something like that, right in the middle of a flipping storm. This is what I mean by the weather here is normally rubbish when you're actually available to do stuff. And then March, I was
Hmm.
supposed to be in the US. That got
Oh,
cancelled. And
where were you
then,
supposed to go?
oh, there was an event.
What state?
I was
You know.
going to San Diego. So that was supposed to be in March.
California.
Yeah. So that now looks like it's going to be December, maybe. Um,
Hmm.
and then what was happening in April? April, I was traveling somewhere. I can't remember where we were going in April. May, I was going to be traveling to Lithuania. That's been cancelled.
Hmm.
I'm just like, yeah, it's just silly. Like we had each month, I had like 2 or 3 days set aside to travel at least, or there were like longer trips. June, I was supposed to be going to Ibiza with a friend for their birthday. Like my whole May, I was
Your whole
don't
was
even,
planned.
don't even.
Dang, I can't wait till I get to the level like that. Every month I'm going
Oh,
somewhere.
I'm
I'm trying to
so
get to that
annoyed. I was
level.
supposed to be in Amsterdam in
Yeah.
March as well. I was so annoyed.
Oh, Amsterdam. Oh, that is crazy. I need to be coming over to the UK. Okay, because I need to be able to travel like that every month. I
Well,
need
Europe's
to
pretty
figure out
easy to
that.
get around. You kind of got to. It's like you guys
Yeah.
going through states in the US, but like, well, it
Hmm.
was. We have Brexit at the end of this year as well. It's great for us. The last year of real European travel. Thank you.
Right. I am literally cracking up. That is
I'm
so
like, the
funny.
more I
Oh
think
yeah.
about
Well,
it, the more I'm like, this is not good.
yeah, I know. I hope it gets better. I hope people can travel, but I'm all for being safe and staying safe. So I'm going to stay inside and do whatever I need to do because I don't have time to be doing the other stuff
No, I hear you.
and
Everybody's
getting
staying
sick.
home so that we can all go out again.
Yes, so that we can go out again. I'm cracking up, and that I can make it to London one day, so we won't be on lockdown for 2 years.
Better not be. Better not be.
Yes, but I don't want to take up all your time. I know that you're in London, and so I just want to thank you again for having. Well, I just want to thank you again for coming on the podcast. I'm gonna say for having me for coming on the podcast. That's so funny, and I hope you enjoy your day. And we are going to stay connected because, yeah, we're just gonna stay connected because this is cool.
This
So,
has been great fun.
yes, thank you. And if you have any other questions, let me know. If you have any of your programs and stuff like that, let me know. I can share and put it out there for the people who want to be MC speakers, because we know some women. Okay, that is what I do know. Some women.
Mm-hmm. They be saying they speakers.
Yeah. But they don't be having their stuff together. We ain't working with them. Y'all need to have y'all stuff together.
It's all right. I could help you get your stuff together. That's where
Yes.
I come in.
Yes, you help them
You
get
just
their.
got to acknowledge that your stuff is not together.
Yes, well, maybe you're speaking it's not together. I do want to be a speaker. I just feel like it's kind of hard. I don't know. This is me. I just feel like sometimes people like when you're so young and stuff like that, they don't really maybe take you as seriously or what you're doing. So it's like it's always like an age thing with me sometimes.
Oh,
Still
girl,
working
I
on
hear
it.
the age thing on both ends of the spectrum. I have women
Mm-hmm.
who are more mature and they go, "Oh, I'm so old." I'm like, "You have wisdom, they have youth. Both of you complain." Like it's like either end of the spectrum. The gig I did in Paris, there was a guy, he was like 25 or 26. He
Mm-hmm.
runs a company called The Ocean Cleanup. I swear to God, he's on a mission. Speaking in front of 3,000 people at this event. He's on a mission to clean up the oceans of the world.
Mm-hmm.
25.
That's deep.
25. He's actually got the equipment is up and running and he's doing stuff in rivers and like seriously switched on with a proper bona fide business. So do not think that age is going to be a challenge. I think you've just got to make sure that you pick something in which it sits congruently, right? So
Mm-hmm.
anything new and upcoming and that sort of thing works really well for people who are a bit younger because it's like a new vibe and a new vibe of thinking. Um, when you're of an older generation, y'all got wisdom.
Yeah, they did.
You
Mm-hmm.
just walk on a stage and people expect what you say to be good.
Mm-hmm. Like they already have it.
Yeah, when you're young, people expect what you say to be fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Neither's
Oh
wrong.
yeah, fresh.
There you go. They expect
Mm-hmm.
fresh thoughts, fresh ideas, something new, vibrant, something that's going to shake things up. So
Yes.
neither is right or wrong.
I do. I see what you're saying. That's good. Fresh vibe. And yeah, like the social media and stuff like that. People don't really know. That's why I feel like I could talk about. I don't know if people do. I could feel like I really could talk about that because I think I'm personally really good at online networking. But if that's something that people are looking for and stuff like that, so it's just like something that I need to be able to speak about. Right now, I need to speak about student loans and how they need to cancel the debt. Okay, that's a fresh new idea. I mean, it's around, but y'all need to cancel this debt. Okay, because I'm tired of this debt over my head.
If
Who's
y'all
picking
be
speakers for
listening,
that? Yeah.
whoever can hit that delete button.
Yes, if y'all be hearing us out here, delete, go hack it. So, nope, I don't want people hearing that. But own that. That's what I need to go on a journey of. Maybe that should be my platform. I don't know where I'm gonna go with it, but delete the student loan debt. It's crazy out here. I don't know how it looks up and looks in them other continents, countries, but over here in America, baby, whoo, child, it's a lot. So,
Y'all loans are a lot worse than ours. Mine was
mhm.
less than £10,000 when I left.
What?
It would have been, yeah. It was like $3,000 a year I took, and the interest was like 2% or something ridiculous. Yeah.
I think I went to school in the wrong place.
I mean, that was a few years ago. Now you're looking at 7K a year in debt, something like that. They
Seven.
changed it, like, yeah, but it's still a lot less than you guys.
Yeah, my 7K. Me, baby. Shoot, let me go ahead and take that up. But yeah, but hopefully, me becoming this person that can help me speak to it and stuff like that. And yeah, we just gonna see what we gotta do. But I'm cracking up. But thank you so much. I want you to have a great rest of your day and enjoy the time in sight. Soon we'll be outside.
Soon we will be. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.
Passion our purpose, profit our pain. I don't want my name to ever be in vain. A life full of substance is the only thing that will remain the same. Millennial Thoughts.